India has been using settler colonialism, military occupation, and ethnic cleansing in Kashmir since 1947. And the Supreme Court's decision today just paved the way for further human rights abuses and atrocities in the region by the Hindu nationalist Modi regime. We'd like to preface this video by saying that we were born in Azad Kashmir, the paternal side of our family is from there, and we have family and friends from both sides of the region. Beyond that, we've already spent more than 5 years of our lives researching Kashmir in university at the undergraduate level, but also now for our postgraduate studies. And whenever we speak up about Kashmir online, we combine our personal history as well as our academic research, along with references to the work of prominent Kashmiri activists, scholars, and researchers. We say this because, as always, we recognize that this video will probably garner the attention of Hindu nationalists and apologists for the Indian state, who often come to attack us in the comments about our posts on Kashmir and make false assumptions about us. Now, for some historical context. Kashmir is a region between India and Pakistan, which has been ruled by foreign powers since the 16th century, including the Mughals, Afghan rulers, Sikhs, and finally the British, who sold the territory to the Dogras. The final Dogra ruler of Kashmir was Maharaja Hari Singh. Under his rule, indigenous peoples across the territory, particularly those who prescribed to Islam, suffered from deep structural injustices, which led to various movements against Dogra rule. Simultaneously, leading up to 1947, when the subcontinent was gaining independence from British colonization, the Muslims of British India wanted to create their own homeland, Pakistan, because they faced extreme discrimination at the hands of the Hindu majority. The princely states in the region, which were not directly governed by the British, would have to decide whether they wanted to accede to Pakistan or India during this time. Kashmir was a Muslim majority region, and most people there wanted to become a part of Pakistan, but their Hindu ruler, Hari Singh, wanted to remain independent. Leading up to and after August 1947, when India and Pakistan officially gained their independence, there was violence across the subcontinent, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir, where Hari Singh's forces were brutally suppressing uprisings against his rule. During this time, more than 200,000 Muslims were massacred and thousands were forcibly displaced and ethnically cleansed in Jammu through the efforts of Singh's royal forces and Hindu fanatics. You can learn more about the Jammu massacre on this video on our TikTok page. That being said, the Muslims of Poonch and Mirpur district ultimately freed themselves from Hari Singh and set up a provisional government led by Sardar Ibrahim in what they called Azad Kashmir. Tribesmen from Pakistan entered Azad Kashmir in October 1947 in an effort to support and protect the region. We just want to note here that the time around independence was traumatic and devastating for people on all sides and religions, especially because of the interreligious violence that was taking place between groups. After Azad Kashmir was established, Hari Singh feared that he would lose the rest of his territory too and asked India for help. India made him sign an instrument of cession, although the region was already physically and politically divided by this point, and Indian troops had already arrived in Srinagar before Hari Singh even signed the document. This was a violation of international law and an invasion of Kashmiri sovereignty too. What was left behind after all of this was a divided territory. It was partly administered by Pakistan and partly administered by India. Neither country had complete control, and each of them gave Kashmir a certain degree of autonomy and sovereignty in their respective constitutions. A UN Security Council resolution has even said that the only solution to this issue is a people's plebiscite where Kashmiris would be able to decide their future for themselves. Over the years, Pakistan has maintained the stance that the future of Kashmir will be decided by Kashmiris themselves through self-determination and has allowed many democratic elections to take place in the region as well. By way of personal experience, we can say that the region is not very militarized and Kashmiris have the same rights that Pakistanis have. Pakistanis are also not officially allowed to buy property in Azad Kashmir or vote in their elections. That being said, Pakistan has had several military dictatorships, fascist regimes, and corrupt governments who have in various ways suppressed the rights and freedoms of Pakistanis as a whole, as well as people under their administration, like those living in Azad Kashmir. On the other hand, India has been and continues to inflict horrible human rights abuses and atrocities on Kashmiris and is using ethnic cleansing, settler colonialism, and military occupation to maintain its control over the region. This is because India has always claimed that Kashmir is an integral part of its territory and suppressed anyone who demands self-determination. There is no democracy in the region, despite India claiming that it's the world's largest democracy, and it has turned Kashmir into one of the most militarized zones in the world. Kashmiris have faced arrests, killings, lockdowns, communications shutdowns, enforced disappearances, curfews, arbitrary detentions, and much more. We'll be releasing a series of videos about India's settler colonialism and other forms of oppression in the region very soon. In 2019, India revoked Article 370, which granted Kashmir its special status from the constitution. This was followed up by politicians encouraging Indians to buy land in Kashmir, and they also also made disgusting statements like now you should go and marry the fair-skinned Kashmiri woman. Since that time, India has been encouraging settlers to move on to Kashmiri land and has also been making more efforts to change the demography of the region. Today, the Supreme Court of India just backed the Hindu nationalist Modi regime's removal of Article 370 from the Indian Constitution. They have said that Jammu and Kashmir should be restored to statehood just like any other state as soon as possible. Again, Kashmir is a disputed territory under international law. It was never an Indian state, and this is a blatant effort to legitimize and continue expanding India's colonial project in the region. The vast majority of people in Jammu and Kashmir do not want to become a part of India, a nation which has killed, raped, abducted, and blinded them, among many other atrocities, for over 75 years. We urge you to help us raise awareness by sharing this video.